Hi guys, so hello and good morning from Zakopane. This is our last day here. It's a bit windy, yesterday was much more windy, or at the very least the same. I'm out on the balcony. I don't know if it was the smartest idea. It might be a bit annoying. Okay, let's try. You know what, I think I'm gonna have to fix my hair every 2 seconds. Let's try this inside. So, sorry, take 2, this is much better. Alright, so I wanted to sit down just to chat a little bit about a little catch up, because I think the past couple of days, if you can hear in my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather, which is why I am carrying a toilet roll with me everywhere, because my nose just won't stop running. It's on that stage. So unfortunately, I think I started feeling unwell-ish, possibly from Monday, and today is Friday, I'm not sure. But it was like slow going, but yeah, annoying, but that's how it is. I think when, at least me, when I travel a lot, even my nose I think is quite red. Yeah, I think maybe my immune system gets a bit impacted. It's very annoying. But anyway, I didn't realize how nasal I am until doing this video. So, yeah, just to catch up. So I think the last time I spoke properly to the camera was when my mother and we went, and even then it was vaguely properly because we were in a group. We went on like a, like, I don't really know, it was like a trip where we took like a boat, which were across the, I think I mentioned, like on the river, which was on the border between Slovakia and Poland. And that was very beautiful. It was really nice, and we were very lucky with the weather. Although I did have a fleece on, just because in the shade it was still quite cool. And sorry, just felt like a wave of heat. I am quite unwell. This morning when I woke up I had to take some medication, to be honest. Anyway, so that was really lovely. So we did that boat trip. That was the first thing, and it took quite some time to drive there. We had like a minivan. There was I think about 7 of us, and yeah, it was all Polish people actually, interestingly, in the minivan. And then on the boat it was Polish people, plus we had one family which was from Slovakia, and then another couple who didn't say where they were from. They didn't speak English, they didn't speak Polish, and they didn't seem like they were an elderly couple. They just didn't seem to want to communicate. They were just there for the views, so we didn't find out where they were from. The guy who was taking us on the boat was like, "Oh, hey, where you guys from?" Trying multiple languages. Didn't get any information. But yeah, with the guy who was doing the boat tour, he was speaking both Polish and Slovakian. And I remember when he started, like, I think between the Polish group, everyone was confused, because me, at least personally, I was like, is he speaking like the regional accent? Because it's so strong. Like, I understand, but I'm like borderline. And then he's like, oh, so for the Polish people, I'll say it now in Polish unless you guys understood. So I didn't realize how close the languages were. And then I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. And then he repeated everything in Polish. And then he just kept going through the 2 languages back and forth, but like fluently. It was very good. I think because he lives on the border. I think he's actually was Slovakian. But yeah, that was lovely. So we did that boat trip, then we went in the car, and then we had like this random stop in this shop. I think I've mentioned this before, but like where this guy, he was quite a character, selling beers and drinks with his face on it and magnets. It was really funny. And then like trying to plow us with alcohol. Yeah, on this day, by the way, I was already a little bit like under the weather, but I was like powering through. I was taking some medication already, just to like stay strong and enthusiastic. It wasn't so bad though yet. Or actually, I don't even know, just because I was taking the medication, and you're like, so you just don't know. And then, yeah, so that we did that, we went all around. There's quite a few hours in the car, which was quite relaxing. And the countryside views were very beautiful with the mountains, and there were some rivers and lakes, so it was really nice. We stopped by a castle, but they didn't give us enough time to actually enter the castle, which was kind of lame. But yeah, that was not like ideal planning on their part. So then me and my mom just chilled there. What did we had? Oh, we had like Oscypek, like the mountain goat's cheese with some, I think it's cranberry jam, sort of. It's very good as like a snack. I think we hadn't eaten yet at that point. Yeah. I had a banana and my mom had a peach. And we also like grabbed the coffee because this guy was like super like pushing between each stop. And like before we had like that drink stop, but which he was like, they're gonna be feeding you shots, and we're like, we haven't even had our morning coffee. Like, can we start with at least that? And he's like, oh no, we don't have time. And then when we were like one of the stops, people were going to the bathroom, like taking their time, and because we were there first at the car, like, come on man, like, so we just like, without telling him, because he kept pushing like, no, don't get a coffee. We went to the coffee shop, came back, and we were still like back before a lot of the people, so we're like, okay, there was time. And then we drank our coffees at least before, this other stop. And then yeah, so we had that drink stop, we had the castle stop, and then we were driving around. We had like a photo stop just between the farmlands, which was cute. I got some cute photos like at a red scarf I brought along. And then what else? And then we went home actually. And yeah, the tour guide, I don't know if it was a tour guide, the driver was very friendly. Then the next day we went to these Polish baths, which I think I took some videos. Not of the baths actually at all, because I didn't think, like it was a spa environment. Actually, it turns out people were taking photos and videos, and with their GoPros even, which is funny. But yeah, I didn't think that was the vibe. It was okay, except I have to say, first of all, they didn't provide towels. So unless you got, it was called Bukovina, by the way. So unless you got a VIP ticket, you didn't have a towel. We didn't know that. So we just got a full day ticket, not even knowing there was a VIP option or whatever. But we didn't even think, we just didn't think of it. Like, before we left the house, we're like, oh, do we need towels? And it's like, no, come on, like, they would provide towels. That seems like the bare minimum, right? So we didn't take any towels with us. And yeah, they didn't have towels. So that was like our first, like, okay, great. So, and then what was weird also, because we wanted, especially my mom, she wanted to do the sauna. Hold on, my alarm is going off. So, excuse me, I had to go grab my phone. And then, of course, my nose immediately started running and I started sneezing. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we went to this Bukovina. Discovered we didn't have towels. Oh yeah. And then also with this Bukovina situation, especially my mom wanted to do a sauna, which actually I also wanted to do a sauna, but I didn't even think, like, I just thought, because we've been in Switzerland quite a few times, and it's just standard that with the spa experience there's a sauna, right? And actually the one we go to in Switzerland, there are like multiple saunas outside, inside, etc., etc. And there's like little different options, and it's really nice. So like, maybe I'm just spoiled for a choice because it's more of a cultural thing there. But anyway, so when we mentioned about the sauna, my mom wanted to make sure that, like, yes, but you have to pay extra for it, but you pay like, because you get a bracelet, and then you pay when you enter, which, okay, I thought already was weird. It wasn't like necessarily that expensive, but the fact that it was an additional expense on top, I thought was weird. So okay, fine. So we went inside, and then we were like, okay, well, oh, and the towel thing, we only realized when we came inside. We started changing, and I looked around and I noticed everyone seemed to have their own towels. So I mentioned to my mom. So then my mom went upstairs to investigate, which, oh, by the way, okay, another thing. When we came downstairs, we realized you have to take off your shoes. And because we hadn't brought flip-flops, we figured, okay, we just walk around. But also in the change room, we were forced to walk around barefoot or in our socks, and obviously it's wet and gross. Like, that was really not ideal. So yeah, my typically I guess people would bring slip-flops, but yeah, so you're halfway down the stairs, you have to change your shoes like as if in a gym, and put on these like other kinds of shoes. But anyways, like at the beginning, there were a few like little annoying things, I can't lie. But anyway, so then when I realized that we need our own towels, so mom goes back upstairs because already by then I changed into my costume and she hadn't, or she had a cover up, I think. And she was like, guys, can we change maybe to this VIP because we need a towel? And they were like, no, you can only buy a towel. We can't change it out to the VIP, because I think there was quite a small difference in price, to be fair. It was obviously a little bit more expensive, but like not like hugely so. So we're like, we're not going to buy a towel. So then we're like, right, we're going to just dry in the sun. Luckily, it was a beautiful sunny day. That was going to be our solution. So then we went around, we started swimming. I think we started off a bit grumpy, and also, to be honest, I think because we hadn't eaten yet. So after swimming for probably, I don't know, half an hour. Oh, and then we went to investigate the sauna situation, and there was only one, like we arrived around midday, and then there was, or no, it must have been around 1 o'clock by the time we were like in the pools and checked the sauna, because then we checked and there were specific times. There was one at 2 o'clock and the next one was at like 6 p.m. We're like, okay, either we have to go like almost immediately or we have to wait for like 4 hours. So like that's not gonna happen. So well, my mom was like, okay, let's see at 2 o'clock how we're feeling, if we feel like going. Well, okay. So then we went, we were going around the pools. They were quite nice, they were nice and warm. And there's a few around, and they were also outside, and it was nice outside. It was beautiful and sunny. And then there was some like kind of man-made caves there. But yeah, to be honest, our mood lifted up much more when we ate something. So we had a salad and like a sandwich while we were there. And after that, yeah, we were much more cheerful, I can't lie. So then we went back into the water after that. We decided to ditch the sauna because I think we just eaten and we were just like, honestly, we just can't be bothered really forcing ourselves to go at a specific time. So I think we did some more swimming, relaxing in the sun, enjoying, like, because when we were eating, we just like got nice and dry in the sun, so that was really lovely. So then we were like, okay, we'll do this a second time after we swim. We'll take a shower and then we'll dry in the sun because we have no towels, and then we will head home at some point. So then I think in the end we stayed 3-4 hours, which by the way you can buy a 3-hour ticket, I think, which was, the price difference was very small, but yeah, so I think also we could have just done that. Sorry, there's going to be constant random intervals with me having to unfortunately blow my nose. But yeah, so we continued in the pools, we swam, we enjoyed. My mom even did like one of those group pool classes, and while she was doing that, I was just literally just relaxing in one of the other pools, because she went, and I was like, Mom, no, I don't think they're gonna, I think there must be some sort of sign-up sheet for that. She's like, no, my mom is like, no. She's very confident, like, screw it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to try, I'm going to see. She's not embarrassed at all. And, like, sometimes I am like that. But in this circumstance, like, I'm not going to be part of this, Mom, you do your thing. So she had fun doing this little lesson, which good for her. It was a bit of exercise in the water. And then I was just relaxing in the bubbles in another pool. Then we relaxed with some more, with the bubbles together, and then we went and took some showers, lay in the sun for probably not too long because I don't want to get roasted in the sun for sure, and I just, yeah, I don't think it's healthy, and I just get overheated anyway. And yeah, and then we headed home. And how we headed home, I think, because we were kind of in the middle of nowhere, initially we weren't sure if we should take the bus or a taxi, but we weren't really sure where the bus was or anything. So we ordered a taxi, and it took like 15-20 minutes for one to get to us. It was for an Uber. And then initially we were just going to go back to Zakopane, but actually we had been recommended like a traditional Polish shop which sold like traditional Polish clothing from the mountains. And so we thought, oh, why don't we check it out? It was in a small village along the way. So we then made our trip shorter. We just stopped there, relatively close by, and then it was actually so nice stopping in this village. It was less touristic, you know, and it was very picturesque. So that was lovely. I'm so glad we did that. I really enjoyed that because I quite like, because Zakopane was really busy, you know, with a lot of tourists. So it was nice to have a little bit of something different. So yesterday evening, then the stage of my nose running began, and I've already gone through a whole almost roll of toilet paper. Anyway, so yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yes, we stopped in this little village. It was really beautiful. It was really cute. And there I think I took a few photos and videos, but I was just really not vlogging that much that day. And then what was it? And then so that was a Wednesday. Then on Thursday, oh wait, sorry. And then I think after that we came back to Zakopane. We took like a bus. They kind of look like shuttles, which I was kind of surprised by. But yeah, we managed because we were waiting there. There was one schedule and never came. We were waiting. We're like, are they actually not coming or what? So then we were about to order an Uber, and I think my mom actually ordered it, and in that moment the next shuttle arrived. So then we cancelled it and we took the shuttle, which was really nice. It was such a nice driver. He was so friendly, and it cost really cheap. So that was great. So that got us all the way to Zakopane, and then we were just walking around the city center. We had already bought some salad stuff, and then when did we buy it? Or was it that evening? I'm not sure. But then we also added, we got some like ready-made croquette, which is so good. So that evening I made some salad. We ate the croquette, half of them. Like we had one each, but they were huge. So we ate half, and then we ate the other half later. Yeah, so that was a very, very chill day. And then on Thursday, I was feeling pretty under the weather. But anyway, my mom had to work that day. She works remotely. So I took some time to really try and relax. I'm not very good at that though sometimes. But anyway, the weather was so nice. It was so sunny outside. So then I wanted an excuse to go out. So I think at lunchtime we went out just for a walk with my mom and I. And then I can't lie. Then I would relax more in the afternoon. And then in the evening I was like, okay, let's go for one more walk as the sun is setting because it was so nice. We ended up doing about 10 kilometers or 11 that day. So, which was yesterday. Which probably wasn't very helpful in terms of like my immune system having a chance to sort of recover. It was a very nice walk, but we were very tired afterwards. And yeah, we kind of like, we ate again at home, leftovers and some salad. And yeah, and then we were like pretty broken, we were quite tired. And then I went to bed early, but every day this week I've been waking up at 6 a.m., which is not normal for me. I like to wake up at 8 a.m. But I couldn't sleep. I have not been able to sleep longer than 6 a.m., which is very annoying. I have been going to sleep a bit earlier, which is helpful, but still, from 11 till 6, it's only like 7 hours. I want 8 hours, ideally. But anyway, whatever. So just that's the catch up of the past few days. And what else yesterday? Yesterday, yeah, we just did a very long walk through the city. It was actually really nice. My mom got me an ice cream. I felt like a kid. It was really nice. The ice cream we got. Okay, this was so cool. So one of the ice cream flavors was Oscypek, which is this goat's cheese. And at first I'm like, come on, is this like a kind of a savory ice cream? What is this? And we asked if we could try some, and it comes with the cranberry jam too. And you know what? It was actually so good. It really worked. So I really enjoyed that. Sorry, my nose needs to be blown again. And that's officially the end of that toilet roll. Luckily we have more. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this ice cream was so delicious. So when we tried it, we're like, right, we're getting that flavor for sure. So I would really recommend it. That was something, at least something unique and also tasty. And now, you know, there's currently the Dubai chocolate craze, so that is also everywhere. There was also that, and I can't lie, I did try the ice cream, which was quite good because it had chocolate bits. But I think the Oscypek was the most interesting one. What else? So, yeah, if you're in Zakop, or actually in Poland in general, if you want to buy something for yourself or for somebody as a gift, which I think is really nice and local, there are two things I would say. Amber jewelry, definitely very Polish, and Polish slippers. Now this is more specific to Zakopane, so you'll see they have like these leather slippers like with fluff, or they're just plain leather. Like this one's actually my mom's, but she's also given them to me. This one's this is a very plain design. They have ones which are color with a fur trim with the name Zakopane. I like the more classic ones, but yeah, I think I love it, and and they're very affordable. Like I'm always shocked at the prices. I'm just, it's like they're giving them away, you know. But yeah, so yeah, I think I've caught you up on everything. That was been super nice. It's good to be always with my mom and spending time with her. Today we're taking a train back. I'll probably catch up with you also on the train. Let's see how many people are in our cabin. And it's about a 7.5 hour train. So I'm probably going to be editing some YouTube videos while in there. I feel like I'm looking also very pale. But I did put on makeup to hide my sickness, my disease. But I think I'm like at the end stages, so I don't think I'm infectious anymore. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so I think that I've caught up now. I've taken quite a while to say all of this. So thank you for watching if you're continuing to watch. And I'm very excited now because today is my grandpa's birthday. And so we got him a little present, and then we will, I take him out, I think, for dinner tomorrow to celebrate. 88 my grandpa is this year. Very young and so healthy. I'm so proud of him. He is my goal as I age. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys later.
Otworzyłem na rękę, patrzę, co to ma w mojej ręce, to proszę. Co ty?
Czy mamy śpiewać?
Nie. Aha. O.
Jogurt.
Do tego to trzeba...
A jak to jest czarny las?
Tak.
Ulubione moje. Wiem, że ulubione twoje.
Tak. Czekaj.
Co?
Chcę zrobić czymś kółko.
Nie,
to będzie
ale
za
idź
małe.
tak w środku pójść. O, dokładnie w środku tego czekolady. Będzie idealne kółko.
Dobra, idealne. To idealne, to... No i dobra.
Jadasz o którym?
Dla tych, co się wyżalają.
Ja
Czekaj, najpierw sobie trochę.
Nie za dużo.
Już!
Coś by byliśmy
O,
pijane,
popatrz,
widzę.
Jaki dziadek jest.
Piękny.
Co?
Idealnie wylał, no.
Tak?
Tak.
Widać, to nie jest pierwszy raz dziadka.
Dziękuję bardzo.
W oczy mi patrz. Tak, jak się stuka, to się w oczy patrzy. Inaczej się...
Tak?
Tak.
To ja nie wiedziałem. o tym.
taki
To się Jamas mówi, Jamas!
Ojej, nie jesteśmy greccy.
Ja was.
Nie mówię po grecku, mówię na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
Ej.